You're watching ABC WTVA, Tupelo, Columbus.
Breaking news as we come on the air, the Pentagon just moments ago on what's flying over the U.S. The suspected Chinese surveillance balloon the size of 3 buses hovering over the northern U.S. The giant balloon unmanned, carrying what's believed to be sophisticated spy technology. And we have now learned tonight, U.S. officials tracking it for several days, spotted over Billings, Montana, where there are several sensitive nuclear sites. So where is it now? Military officials all saying whether to shoot it down, but did not do so because of the risk to people on the ground. Terry Moran standing by with late reporting. Also tonight, that dangerous Arctic blast, 58 million Americans, multiple states, wind chill alerts from Montana straight across to Maine. Life-threatening cold already moving into the Midwest, the Northeast bracing for wind chills in some places 50 below zero. Rob Marciano with the late forecast. Was a potential mass shooting plot in Hollywood foiled by the LAPD. Tonight, the suspect in custody and what they found in his 18th floor apartment over Sunset Boulevard. An arsenal of loaded weapons, high scopes. Matt Gupman reporting. The New Jersey councilwoman, a rising star, just 30 years old, shot and killed in her car. That community in shock tonight. Police now appealing to the public for help. On the Hill tonight, the vote in the House, the GOP majority removing Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee. The Congresswoman at her speech today and what she said this was really about. Rachel Scott live on the Hill. A dramatic day of testimony in the Alec Murdaugh trial, the defense grilling authorities about what they found or didn't find the day after the murders, and prosecutors on a piece of video from the same day of the murders. And the question they say it now raises. Eva Pilgrim reporting. The war in Ukraine tonight and Vladimir Putin's new nuclear threat. And Robin Roberts tonight from New Zealand. The beauty and the warning about climate and what's changing already.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. And we begin tonight with the breaking headline late today. The Pentagon briefing reporters just before we came on the air saying they are now tracking a suspected Chinese spy balloon hovering over the northern U.S. It was spotted over Montana and other northern states. Montana, of course, home to several sensitive nuclear sites. Now, we are told the suspected Chinese surveillance balloon is the size of 3 buses with a technology bay suspended below. And for a time in Montana, air traffic control imposing a ground stop at the Billings airport in the last 24 hours. And look at this tonight, the contrails from F-22 seen in the skies. They circled an area where the balloon was spotted southwest of the city. Tonight, a senior defense official saying President Biden was briefed, that he asked for military options. So this evening, what next? And is there any possible threat here? ABC's Terry Moran leading us off from the White House tonight.
Tonight, a senior defense official says authorities are tracking a giant Chinese spy balloon that has been hovering over the northern U.S. for several days.
The United States government has detected and is tracking a high-altitude surveillance balloon that is over the continental United States right now.
Sources tell ABC News the unmanned high-altitude balloon is the size of 3 buses with a technology bay underneath. Officials say President Biden asked for military options, but decided to follow the recommendation of senior military leaders not to shoot down due to safety of people on the ground. That balloon spotted over Montana, forcing a temporary ground stop Wednesday at the airport in Billings. That ground stop covering a 50-mile radius. No flights, including commercial air traffic, were allowed to land or take off for at least an hour. Montana is home to several sensitive nuclear weapon sites. The U.S. moved quickly to shield them.
Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information.
Well, this is really something. Let's get right to Terry Moran. He's live at the White House tonight. Terry, we know the Pentagon briefing reporters just before we came on tonight. So what are they saying about any potential threat here? No threat to civilians, and has the U.S. Reached out to China?
That's right, David. The Pentagon does say that they've been tracking this balloon, that it does not pose a threat to civilians. They also say it's not the first time, that a handful of other times over several years, dating back to previous administrations, they've seen balloons like. They say they do not think it poses an intelligence risk, and they have communicated to China that this cannot continue. David?
Still unsettling. Terry Moran leading us off tonight. Terry, thank you. We're going to turn next, meanwhile, tonight to the dangerous cold moving in. Wind chills in the Northeast are reaching 50 below zero in the coming days. 58 million Americans in the path of this brutal and life-threatening cold, they're saying, from Montana to Maine. Already hitting the Midwest tonight, moving east, while in the South, look at this, nearly 500,000 homes and businesses still without power after trees and power lines came down in this ice storm lasting for days now. Snow moving north today in Wise, Virginia. Tonight, Boston already declaring an emergency and opening warming centers. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano on the ice tonight and the cold moving in. Tonight, the sound of heavy equipment and chainsaws piercing the air north of Boston. A race to clean up a tangled mess of ice-covered trees and power lines. Limbs snapping after days of ice and sleet.
We are experiencing one of the most widespread ice storms to hit Boston, and certainly one of the worst.
Hundreds of thousands in the dark across the storm zone. Our Alex Brachet, south of Little Rock, Arkansas, with crews restoring power and facing multiple challenges.
Slick roads and the terrain and ice, tree limbs falling out of the trees.
As the system pushes east, it's pulling down the coldest air of the season so far. Boston declaring a cold emergency, closing schools and opening warming centers.
By sunset tomorrow, it is down to single digits, and the wind is going to be howling.
That wind on this very serious cold moving in. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. This is indeed life-threatening cold coming out of Quebec and Ontario right now. The actual front is pushing across the border. You see it here.
This Hollywood high-rise about a man making serious threats, and inside his apartment, they found multiple weapons, high-powered scopes, and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Some of those weapons were loaded and by a window. A suspect is now in custody tonight, an Army veteran, and here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, in L.A.
Tonight, a potential mass shooting plot in the heart of Hollywood foiled. The LAPD uncovering this arsenal in a high-rise, saying the rifles were loaded and by a window.
I believe that here was certainly averted.
Officers to this building on the famed Sunset Boulevard around 10 a.m. Tuesday after police say they got a call about a man threatening residents and security, possibly having a mental health breakdown. Authorities identifying the suspect as 24-year-old Braxton Kyle Johnson, who spent 4 years in the Army infantry, officers getting a search warrant and then serving it when Johnson was out. What authorities said they found inside the 18th floor apartment, chilling.
When they first went into the apartment in plain view, they observed 3 rifles and a shotgun laid out on the floor.
As if prepared for something.
As if prepared for something, yes.
At least some of the weapons neither registered nor legal in the state of California. Also in that arsenal, police say high-powered scopes push targets hundreds of yards away, including the street below and a dog park.
David, authorities telling me the suspect recently moved into that building. They're also saying they're trying to trace his guns, also looking into possible previous arrests in other states. Now, they have found no manifesto, no writings indicating that, but just now in court, his first appearance, the suspect pleading not guilty.
All right, Matt Gutman tonight. Thank you, Matt. Back in the East this evening into the shocking murder of a New Jersey councilwoman, an apparent targeted attack. The 30-year-old wife and mother shot dead while sitting in her car just feet from her home. Tonight, the FBI is now involved, and here's our investigative reporter, Aaron Petersky, tonight.
Tonight, a desperate search in New Jersey for whoever shot dead a young councilwoman in an apparently targeted burst of gunfire that has horrified the state.
It's just a shocking development.
30-year-old Eunice Jumfor, a rising star in low memory.
Eunice K. Jumfor.
Jumfor, who had only recently taken office, was discovered dead Wednesday night in her SUV of multiple gunshot wounds, shot while sitting behind the wheel. Law enforcement sources told ABC News she had just dropped someone off at her home and was heading out when the gunman approached on foot.
I heard boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, shoot, that is a gunfire.
Authorities saying more than 10 gunshots were fired. Jumfor was recently married and had a daughter. Her death stunning neighbors.
I was so shocked when I found that it was her. And it broke my heart because she's really kind.
Police have said nothing about a motive, and they have made no arrests. The mayor said the community is shocked and saddened and called Jumfor a dedicated member of the borough council committed to public service. Jumfor was new to this community, David, but already known as a really nice person. And tonight, police are appealing to her constituents for help solving this. We just spoke to Middlesex County Prosecutor Yolanda Saccone. She told us, David, that right now it appears the councilwoman's politics played no role in her killing. David?
All right, Aaron Katursky tonight. Thank you, Aaron. We're going to turn now to Capitol Hill tonight, where House Republicans have ousted Democrat Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee, citing repeated anti-Semitic and anti-American remarks. She has apologized for those remarks in the past. She delivered her own remarks today, and what she said this is really about. Here's our senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott, on the Hill tonight.
Tonight, House Republicans voting to kick Congresswoman Ilhan Omar off the House Foreign Affairs Committee for anti-Semitic remarks she made several years ago, for which she has apologized.
Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim.
But House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the Congresswoman needs to be held accountable for her words. Among them, her suggestion that American supporters of Israel were buying political support, tweeting, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby."
We just do not believe when it comes to foreign affairs, especially the responsibility of that position around the world with the comments that you make. She shouldn't serve there.
Nothing more than a political stunt.
It's not about accountability. It's about political revenge.
Democrats say it's pure retaliation for their decision to boot 2 Republicans from committees when they controlled Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene for her own history of embracing conspiracy theories, including anti-Semitic ones, and Paul Gosar for posting an animated video in which he kills a Democratic colleague.
It's a double, triple, quadruple, and beyond standard.
Tonight, McCarthy insists today's move is, quote, not tit for tat.
So let's bring in Rachel Scott. She's live up on the Hill tonight. And Rachel, this was a straight party line vote here.
Yes, David, every single Republican but one voted for that resolution. One Republican decided to vote present. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy making it clear that Omar can still serve on other committees, just not foreign affairs. David.
All right, Rachel Scott, who covers Congress for us every night. Thank you, Rachel. The FBI is reportedly preparing to search the home of former Vice President Mike Pence, where classified documents were found. Sources tell ABC News the Department of Justice is Pence's legal team to schedule the potential next search. It was his legal team that discovered the documents initially, saying they were, quote, inadvertently boxed in there, and they intend to comply fully with the DOJ review. We turn now to that dramatic new testimony in the trial of the once prominent South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh, accused of murdering his wife and son. The defense today grilled an investigator on what she did and did not find at the house the day after the murders. And new questions tonight the prosecution raising about a piece of video from the same day of the murders. Here's Eva Pilgrim.
The defense team for Alec Murdaugh pressing a state investigator to acknowledge what she didn't find when she searched the Murdaugh home the day after Paul and Maggie Murdaugh were shot to death at their dog kennel on the family property.
This jury, you saw no evidence of blood, tissue, or anything that somebody had showered or washed off or bathed to remove evidence of a crime from that. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, sir. There was nothing visible to me. Investigators had a search warrant, but didn't execute it. Instead, they were escorted around the property by the family's lawyer and one of Murdaugh's brothers.
Multiple family plus friends were at the house.
I have to ask all those people to leave.
Some of them were very upset.
It comes after this newly released Snapchat video shows Alec Murdaugh planting trees on the property on the same day as the murders, wearing a different outfit than the clean white shirt and shorts he's wearing when police arrive later at the grisly scene. Murdaugh telling them he touched the bodies before calling for help.
And I ran over to Maggie. And actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
Tonight, the judge is weighing whether jurors will hear evidence about Alec Murdaugh's alleged financial crimes as a potential motive. With the jury out of the room, the CFO for his law firm describing how Murdaugh allegedly stole millions of dollars from his clients and law partners. She says she confronted him the day of the murders.
He turned and looked at me when I came up and said, "What do you need now?" And gave me a very dirty look. I told him that I had reason to believe that he had received the funds himself and that I needed proof that he had not.
And that moment jurors didn't see today could be very significant if the judge allows it to be presented to the jury. Prosecutors have said that Murdaugh killed his wife and son as a way to gain sympathy and distract from financial crimes that were about to be exposed. David?
All right, Eva, our thanks to you again tonight. And when we come back here, Vladimir Putin's new nuclear threat tonight, what he said. And then later here, the NFL owner who is asking Tom Brady to come back. Is this really possible? And Robin Roberts takes us to New Zealand tonight.
Struggling with the highs and lows of bipolar 1? Ask about.
To New Zealand, the wonder and the warning tonight.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Aleve. Just one Aleve provides up to 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief.
When pain says I'm here, I say, so are they. Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve. Who do you take it for?
Hey, pal. Love the look. Disguises are so much fun. Unless they're in your kibble.
We're going up in.
Certainly is.
We suited up for a bird's eye view, taking off to witness the dangerously thin ice and out of this world experience.
Here we go.
Soaking in the majestic mountains.
So untouched, just so natural.
Crystal blue lakes.
Oh my goodness.
And breathtaking waterfalls.
Wow.
Larger than life trek revealing the impact of a changing climate. Glacier pilot Michael Clark.
It looks like a waterfall, but that's actually ice all falling off the cliffs and smashing. And so you can see them just disappearing right before our eyes.
Behind the stunning landscape lie cracks and crevices, the ice melting at a record rate.
I can tell you I've watched glaciers disappear throughout my career.
Over 6,000 feet above sea level, it was time to experience the glacier's conditions firsthand.
Wow.
Thank you,
paradise.
Thank you, Michael.
Are you kidding me? Nice office you got here.
It's a pretty good office.
Oh my God. I am on a glacier.
You are. And it's quite soft. Even for this time of the morning. Look at that.
Yes.
Just a little bit after 9 a.m. And it's warm.
Why is it important to you that people know what's going on here?
Well, they are disappearing quickly. I bring tourists from all around the world to appreciate and look at these beautiful glaciers. But once they're gone, obviously, we won't be able to do that anymore.
Bright sun, soft ice, extraordinary views on top of the ice.
stunning and really important. Robin.
So Help Me Todd, new tonight after Ghosts on CBS.
Family members sat down with our Desmond Matthews today, and he's on video with more. Desmond. That's right, Winston. I talked to the mother and uncle of Montevious Goss. They want people to know who their loved one was, and they also want to keep his name alive. Montevious Goss was reported missing on January 11th in Louisville. Monday, investigators found a body, and 2 days later identified that it was Goss. The family knew people had heard his name in the news, but they want those people to know who he was.
At horses, he liked to write lyrics, rap, hang with his friends, and be with them.
Tamika Hull is Goss's mother. She and Goss's uncle Crowder say the last couple of weeks have been. To ease the pain a little, they've been looking at pictures of Montevious and find a way to laugh through it all. They're going to miss many things about him.
His smile, he always had a smile. Anytime that you've seen him, whether he was mad, angry, he still smiled. He loved to show his teeth.
I miss him actually helping me pick up, clean up, cook food. He actually had a love for cooking food. And so I miss everything about him.
Hull says her son loved math in school, so she looks over some of his old schoolwork. But one thing he wrote stands out the most to her.
But my mom, really my role model, because she wants me to do good. Somebody who wants you to do better in life.
The family says they plan to move forward together and will continue to work with law enforcement until the case is resolved.
First and foremost, we're going to continue to stay together as a family and continue to pray. And continue to work with the police department, all investigators, everyone, the different agencies. We're going to continue to work with them and see can we get some final answers for this situation.
And you can find a link to the family's GoFundMe on our website, WCBI.com. All right, thank you, Desmond. A shooting on Highway 45 leaves Knox City County deputies asking for help to find the gunman. The gunfire happened near the septic tank shop back on December 1st. Investigators say someone inside a small gray vehicle started shooting at a red Dodge Charger. There were minor injuries. If you have any information about the shooting, call the Knox City County Sheriff's Office or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. The Tupelo Police Department is asking for help in solving a case, and Crime Stoppers could make it worth your time. The person seen in this security video is wanted in connection with a case of uttering forgery in Tupelo. This image was captured in the Fair Park area in December. If you know who this is or where they may be, or if you have any other information on this case, you need to call Crime Stoppers Northeast Mississippi. If your information leads to an arrest in this case, for a reward of up to $1,000. After the Columbus City Council approves a contract for police radios, a local company says, hold the phone. The council recently approved a lease through a statewide contractor out of Jackson that would allow Columbus Police to operate on the MS Win statewide.
Brings the real world to them. They are able to go on the job to see if this is what they want to do as a career before they major in something or before they go into a 2-year program at the community college level.
While the job shadowing day gives students an opportunity to get some hands-on experience in different fields, it also gives companies like Jesco an opportunity to do some recruiting for future employees.
With a company like Jesco, all the employees have been here for a good bit of time. We don't have a lot of turnover. It's a great company to work for. But then when you lose that that one person that's been here for 40 or 50 years, you lose a lot of knowledge. So we're hoping to bring that back in and train them up.
For students, the day at Jesco was not only fun, but also a real-life learning experience.
They definitely show us a good way of
how everything works here. They definitely give a lot of different opportunities and different pathways to choose what you like to. They show you what they do hands-on. They make a very great presentation. You know, when they sit us down and they talk to us about everything. Man, I had no idea construction was this like variety. I had no idea the variety in the construction field, and now this is something simple that I think I can go into.
Career coaches plan on making the Groundhog Job Shadow Day an annual event. Telling your story in Fulton, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Well, it's been a good day for inside activities. When we come back, we'll show you a place where you can enjoy those any time of year. Rosalind Freeman followed a ray of sunshine up 7th Street in Columbus and found a warm, welcoming spot and a lady who helps make it that way. And she joins us in the studio. Rosalind?
That's right. Rain, and cold go away, but that's not stopping the kids from learning and playing.
It may be cold and dreary outside, but there's always a bright spot in Columbus when story time is in. The Columbus Lowndes County Public Library is one place where the whole community can come and explore programs like finances for adults, movie nights for teens, and of course, reading programs for the kids. And on days like this, instead of staring out the windows watching the rain, parents were able to bring their children to read alongside Mother Goose with a sprinkle of
imagination is definitely part of every aspect of life. Even when you're reading a book and you see the pictures, as I call them, illustrations, you can imagine, kids imagine things different than what they're seeing in the book.
And while most people believe the minds of children have changed over the decades, Mother Goose still manages to keep her ducklings in the row.
I've changed a few things, like incorporating more manners and incorporating several things that I picked up in workshops, like giving Rain the kids.
And the library is also expanding its reading program to reach children who may have different learning styles.
Kiwanis chapter here in Columbus actually approached us about raising money for our Autism Resource Center.
The program will engage children with autism using sensory bands for learning, discovering, and working fine motor skills.
With that funding now, including some sensory items and things of that nature that will help the children benefit and other individuals who are autistic benefit from the center, including additional book purchases and things of that nature.
And no matter what learning style or phase you are in, Mother Goose believes all children should.
We have to give ourselves a hug. Oh, and I think I forgot to give yourself a hug because I'm a smart kid.
If you want to learn more about the programs offered at the library, click this story on WCBI.com.
Temperatures tonight dropping at or below freezing, so bundle up with your favorite book. I'll have more details after the break.
Join the WCBI First Alert Weather Team at the WCBI Weather Roadshow, Thursday, February 9th at Brent Auditorium in Columbus, sponsored by 4 County Electric Power Association, Lindo World, Monroe County Farm Bureau, and Phillips Electric.
Our members overwhelmingly say that 4 County Electric Power is a name they can always trust. That trust isn't something you can buy. It has to be earned with respect, dependability, sincerity, honesty, integrity, and service. We say thank you to the men and women of 4 County who earn our members' trust each and every day. We are proud of them and proud to serve our member owners. Inflation is FOC and Dr. Stephen Yarbrough are committed to keeping their prices stable while maintaining their quality service. Don't miss your chance to maximize your 2021 insurance benefits before they run out and get a customized treatment plan as part of your 2022 dental benefits. Call 662-773-5544 today to schedule your appointment with Louisville Dental Associates, accommodating and affordable.
The Rotary Classic Rodeos back
Park in Starkville, February 10th and 11th at 7. Friday, kids get in free. Saturday, enjoy pony rides and a petting zoo free with admission. Thanks to title sponsors Dr. Pepper, Moore County Electric Fastnet, Oktibbeha County Co-op, Parker Ram, Rick's Cafe, Starkville CVB, Tractor Supply, and WCBI. Get tickets in Starkville at the Co-op or Partnership or at Tractor Supply in Starkville or Columbus. Catch the PRCA action at the Rotary Classic Rodeo. Visit mshorsepark.com.
Where will you go in the event of severe weather? A Save a Life storm shelter, available only at R&B Furniture in New Albany. For a full line of storm shelters with 10 different models to choose from. We have the right shelter for your family, bringing you comfort and peace of mind when severe weather strikes. Don't cut your money short when it comes to saving your family's life. The Save a Life storm shelter, available at R&B Furniture on Highway 30 West, New Albany, across from the hospital.
There are thousands of lawyers in Mississippi, but there's only one Richard Schwartz and Associates.
With offices all over the state, we come to you with quick, protecting you from greedy out-of-state insurance companies.
That's all.
Join the WCBI First Alert Weather Team at the WCBI Weather Roadshow, Thursday, February 9th at Rent Auditorium in Columbus, sponsored by 4 County Electric Power Association, Triangle Federal Credit Union, Lee Storm Shelter, and Columbus Light and Water. Your WCBI AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Ashley Bryant.
Temperatures tonight falling close to or right at freezing. 32s are expected overnight low temperature for Columbus, 30 for Starkville, 29 for West Point. We've also got 30 as the low tonight for Aberdeen, Tupelo, and Houston. 28 is the overnight low temperature for Oxford. As we work our way into the night with rain showers continuing, we're already seeing patchy black ice on roadways and bridges. The rain and the cold at freezing temperatures are going to allow more impacts of this black ice as we continue overnight. It's also going to cause some further issues when it comes to power outages. We are seeing plenty of power outages up towards our northwest, and that risk continues as we head through the overnight hours with those freezing temperatures, possibly freezing power lines. As we head into our Friday, the sun is making a return and temperatures are going to be warming up just a little bit. We'll see our temperatures across the northeastern corner in the low 40s to lower 50s, mostly the lower 50s situated in the central portion of Mississippi, while the 40s stay to the north. 46 is our high for Columbus, Aberdeen 45 for Starkville and West Point, 47 for Louisville, 44 for Tupelo, 41 is a high temperature on Friday for Oxford and New Albany. We are continuing to see rain showers again overnight tonight and towards early Friday morning. We'll see these rain showers clear out by Friday around 3 a.m. So when you wake up, you should expect to see that cloud coverage clearing out through most of the morning, heading towards a very sunny afternoon. We will continue to see that sun as we head into the evening hours. By that point, sky conditions are going to stay fairly clear, which means our overnight temperatures Friday night into Saturday morning are going to drop. We're seeing temperatures for Friday night into Saturday heading towards the middle 20s. So Friday night, it's going to be a bit chilly. We will continue into our weekend Saturday, seeing more of that sunny sky. But as we head into the afternoon Saturday, continuing into Sunday morning, we'll start to see some cloud coverage pushing right back in from the west. Now that will push off to the east with help from this high pressure system. That's going to help clear things back out the last half of our Sunday into the beginning of our next week. Looking at temperatures, middle 40s for Friday, middle 50s by Saturday, heading towards the low to middle 60s entering next week. Tuesday, we have a chance of hitting temperatures in the lower 70s. At the same time, we are going to see very light rain chance making a return Tuesday night into Wednesday, jumping to 40% by Thursday. And we have our WCBI weather show heading our way February 9th at 6 p.m. at the Brent Auditorium on the MUW campus. Come out and visit the weather team.
Can't wait. Ole Miss football has a lot of quarterbacks to work with. Next is Sports Lane Kiffin thoughts on the TV room.
Since 1960, Jack's has served handmade meals. Enjoy our all-beef classic cheeseburger, crispy crinkle cut fries, and our all-new raspberry fried pie. It's the throwback deal. 99.
Jack, more. Need a tractor? Then you need Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden. No matter what kind of work you're doing, Scruggs has the right tractor and right price for you. There's a variety of package deals available with tractors at 0% for up to 72 months or 0.9% for up to 84 months, including our popular 3 Series tractors. Make yard work a breeze with John Deere commercial mowers, available at 0% for up to 48 months. Nothing runs like a Deere. From Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden, Tom Watson Drive, Tupelo, and at scruggsfarm.com.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Y'all know what's better than one biscuit? 2 biscuits. Take your pick of 2 handmade biscuits for just $4.99. Choose between the sausage, egg, and cheese or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. Ain't got to be a math whiz to see this deal. Jack's, all about the South.
Your WCBI Sports John Sokolow is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Well, Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin has proved countless times that he knows how to get talent from the portal to Oxford. This offseason, he's added depth to that QB room. First, it was 4-star and former LSU QB Walker Howard, then Oklahoma State's Spencer Sanders, who was a member of the coach's 2021 All-Big 12 first team and has 4 years of starting experience. Now, those guys joined Jackson Dart, who played in 13 games for the Rebs last year, 20 touchdowns, 11 picks, just under 3,000 passing yards, 614 on the ground. And Lane said he's excited about the QB room and that Dart dramatically improved throughout last season.
And we were able to add 2 guys, one more of a veteran, kind of if you look at the NFL model, a veteran free agent quarterback, and then a really young one, more of a draft pick. So the quarterback room is dramatically in a much better position than it was a year ago. And that's really our goal with our whole roster and every position every year is continue to improve it, like we talked about, what goes out versus what comes in.
When Mississippi State football coach Zach Arnett was looking for an offensive coordinator, he vetted a bunch of candidates. He ultimately went with Appalachian State's Kevin Barbay. And Arnett's main question during the interview process was, what will be your offensive identity? Here's why his answer won him over and why Barbay was attracted to the job.
So to talk to a candidate who has a small enough ego or willing to put that aside to go, it has nothing to do with me, really. It's really our job is to identify the best players and then build the scheme, build our identity around them. That's incredibly refreshing because I happen to believe that that's our philosophy on defense too.
As soon as we started talking, I felt like we were the right fit and the right match for each other, and I didn't know Coach Arnett and I've never did, but I know his passion, right? The coaches, his defensive unit, and now him becoming the head coach, that was something that I really wanted to align with. And I honestly felt like I was kind of like the offensive version of Coach Arnett in that, I coach with the same energy, the same passion.
Okay, so Ole Miss women's hoops is in Knoxville right now taking on Tennessee. The Reds have won 2 in a row. They beat Mississippi State. Then they had that big time come on Sunday. They were down by 19 at the half to take down Arkansas. Now, Tennessee is currently up on Ole Miss 28-21 at the break, but that's pretty comforting for the Rebs, only just to be down 7 since they're shooting 26% from the field so far. So if the ball goes in the hoop more, maybe a lot of chance. Who knows? But we'll have those full highlights tonight, and the Rebs host Florida on Sunday. After former Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien left for the same role with the New England Patriots, Crimson Tide are expected to hire Notre Dame's Tommy Rees as their next OC, according to ESPN. Now, Rees spent the last 3 years as the Fighting Irish's play caller. He stuck around after Brian Kelly departed for LSU. He's only 30, so that makes him Nick Saban's youngest coordinator since Will Muschamp back at LSU in 2002. Well, that's it for sports. Ashley will have one last look at your forecast when we come back.
Kroger, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Taking care of my mother is so hard. It's just more than I can handle on my own. Oh, she gave me the best care she could. Well, now it's my turn. I have to find my mom the best care.
You want the best. Comfort Keepers want to give your loved one the best care. Our caregivers are matched to meet the needs of your loved one. Call for a free care consultation, 662-841-8477, or visit comfortkeepers.com.
Stretch your income tax refund dollars to Cowboy Maloney's with guaranteed lowest prices on appliances, electronic, furniture, and bedding.
Get up to 36 months interest-free financing with no money down, or the no credit check program with 90-day option available.
Save on Tempur-Pedic bedding at Cowboy Maloney's with guaranteed lowest prices. And a month's interest-free financing on Tempur-Pedic bedding with no money down.
So come on down to your local Cowboy Maloney's or shop online at cowboymaloney's.com.
Insurance companies always claim they'll be there for you, but think about it. They only make money when you don't. Why would the insurance company pay you what you deserve when that means less money in their pocket? Think about that.
At Schwartz and Associates, we don't get paid until you get paid. You pay nothing until we win for you. Now think about it. Who's really going to get you the most money possible? One call, that's all.
It's a free for y'all. Get your choice of free phone on us with rebate. Welcome to C Spire Country.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Kroger, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This night falling close to freezing as rain showers continue. Middle 40s for Friday with the sun returning, gradually warming up, heading towards the low 70s by next Tuesday with our next round of light rain heading our way Tuesday night in towards Thursday with a jump to 40%. John, I wouldn't suggest golf on Friday, but maybe Sunday. Temperatures in the 60s.
I'll say this. I drove by a course today and it looked like the third hole was underwater. So I might need to give it some time. Sorry to those groundskeepers and what.
Margot, the moment I found you on Fiverr 8 days ago, I knew I found more than just a freelance web developer. The museum-worthy work in your portfolio, humility, your towering reputation. You were coy at first, but you knew exactly what we needed. A heartbreakingly beautiful website for our cousin. To Marco. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
I'm Margaret Brennan in Washington, and this week, our exclusive interview with new House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, plus a rare joint conversation with the chairs of the Senate Intelligence Committee, only on Face the Nation. Coming soon, the first face-to-face meeting in the new Congress between President Biden and Speaker McCarthy. The main topic on the agenda, paying America's bills and getting the country's fiscal house in order. We'll ask the Speaker about what he thinks Congress should do to keep the U.S. from defaulting.
If Republicans want to work together on real solutions, I'm ready. But I will not let anyone use the full faith and credit of the United States as a bargaining chip.
We'll also hear from Virginia Democrat Mark Warner and Florida Republican Marco Rubio, the chair and vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and get their thoughts on all those classified documents turning up where they shouldn't. Plus, the one issue they think Congress can get bipartisan agreement on, curbing the threat from China.
The Chinese have found a way to use capitalism against us.
In this technology race, second place is not good enough for us.
Then, mostly peaceful protests spread across the country after the release of videos showing Tyre Nichols' deadly encounter with 5 Memphis police officers, now charged with murder. We'll talk about policing in America with former Orlando Police Chief and Congresswoman Val Demings. It's all just ahead on Face the Nation. Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. We have a lot to get to this morning, including the latest on the evolving situation in Memphis. But we begin with the new Speaker of the House, California Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who is second in the presidential line of succession. Mr. Speaker, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back in the studio.
It must be sobering to hear that reminder.
Well, it took me a little while to get there, but it feels good.
Well, you are here now at this key moment in time, and I want to get to some of the top agenda items. You have accepted an invitation to meet with President Biden. When will that happen, and what offer will you put on the table?
Well, we're going to meet this Wednesday. I know the president said he didn't want to have any discussions, but I think it's very important that our whole government's designed to find compromise. I want to find a reasonable and a responsible way that we can lift the debt ceiling, but take control of this runaway spending. I mean, if you look at the last 4 years, the Democrats have increased spending by 30%, $400 billion. We're at 120% of GDP. We haven't been in this place to debt since World War II. So we can't continue down this path. And I don't think there's anyone in America who doesn't agree that there's some wasteful Washington spending that we can eliminate. So I want to sit down together, work out an agreement that we can move forward to put us on a path to balance, at the same time not put any of our debt in jeopardy at the same time.
But avoid a default, in other words. But do you have any indication that the president is willing to discuss both lifting the debt ceiling and the issue of future spending?
Well, if he's changed his mind from his whole time in the Senate and vice president before, I mean, he literally led the talks in 2011 and he praised having those talks. This is what he's always done in the past. And if he listens to the American public, more than 74% believe we need to sit down and find ways to eliminate this wasteful spending in Washington. So I don't believe he would change his behavior from before. And I know there's a willingness on our side to find a way that we can find a reasonable and responsible way to get this done.
Right. I mean, you know, I'm asking that in terms of not linking
In my
one as
first
leverage for the
conversation,
other.
and to be fair, the president, when he called me to